This is the story of Nellie Stocking. No one knows what she looks like. There are no photos of her. And yet she has been part of the Witter family lore for over 100 years.
The story begins with a tiny newspaper article in April of 1893 announcing the adoption of a little girl to the Ora and Annabelle Witter family in Hinsdale, New York, a small town in farm country south of Buffalo. Her name was Nellie Stocking. She was 8 years old, and her mother, Mary, had just died the year before. But when we look at the Witter family photos, she is nowhere to be found. Why? Was she actually adopted? Or was there some other kind of arrangement? The family lore was that Nellie was Native American, and it was not uncommon at that time for Native American girls to be bound out to white families as servant girls. If this were the case, it might explain why Nellie was never in the family photos. But how do we know that Nellie was Native American? Where is the evidence? Let's take a look at Nellie's genealogical heritage. Nellie's parents were Alicia Stocking and Mary Catherine Vokes. The genealogical records show that Alicia's heritage was from England. So it seems that if Nellie had Native American heritage, it probably would have come from her mother, Mary. Let's look at Mary's parents. In 1860, the census records show that Mary was the 7-year-old daughter of Thomas and Mary Vokes. But let's look at this a little more closely. Her father was born in 1798, and her mother was born in 1795. This means that when Mary was born in 1853, her mother would have been 58 years old, not likely her biological mother. So who were Mary's biological parents? Well, here is one possibility. If we look at Thomas Vokes Jr.'s record, he married a woman probably sometime around 1854 and had 3 children in the years to follow. Given his proximity to Native American communities at that time, maybe he had a child with a Native American woman around 1853 but did not marry her. Maybe that child was Mary Catherine Vokes, who was raised by her grandparents. There is one more intriguing detail. When Alicia Stocking died, Mary Catherine married another man and gave birth to a boy named Edward Grant Stocking. Mary died soon afterwards, and Edward was adopted by the Crandall family, who named him Clinton Edwin Crandall. And just like Nellie, Clinton was believed to have had Native American heritage. How certain can we be about any of this? I suppose we will never know unless there is some kind of reliable birth record that confirms this one way or the other, or if we had a picture of either Nellie or Mary Catherine Vokes. But we do not, and it remains to this day a genealogical mystery surrounded more by family lore than actual facts.